John as well.
So my name is Alan. I'm going to be your guide for the next 30 to 35 minutes if everything goes well. Is English okay, guys, for the boat? Because I have like 7 different countries here. All right. So with one language I can pass you a lot of information. Enjoy it. We're going to start immediately with one of our symbols in Bruges, the Belfry Tower, 83 meters in height, 366 steps to the top, 47 bells you have hanging there with a total weight of 27 tons. Slowly the tower starts to lean over to the right, every year a little bit more. From 50 years from now we have our very own tower of designer head. Another attraction for Bruges. When the weather is clear from Monday, you can see the coastline of the North Sea. It's about 12 kilometers from the tower. Very nice view, but not easy to get up there. No elevator. No. Bridge on the right through there from the French on the Napoleon Bonaparte is our fish market that's still in use nowadays. We also use it for all kinds of music events and little local art galleries going on there. Always nice to check it out. Way back you're going to have a better view on the imperialistic style. Still possible to get fish there from the Wednesdays till the Saturdays early in the morning. In front of us the oldest bridge in Bruges from the 12th century. It's called the May Bridge and it's ready to collapse any day now. Every time we pass that bridge we are lucky people. So we have 43 of those little bridges in Bruges to connect all the beautiful spots in Bruges together because Bruges is built on water like Venice. The difference is with Venice, we have nothing to do with the sea here. It's fresh water and we use lock houses to stabilize the water level in the old center of Bruges. So normally the water level is always the same. We have 16 kilometers of canals in Bruges. We use 5 for the shore. Water is between 1 and 3 meters deep and there's plenty of fish here. We have carps, eel, piranhas, all different kinds. Big ones. Past the bridge on the right, the bigger building, and past the bridge on the right, the house with the red windows and the red doors, the Falcon House. From 1634, was given to the poor people by the rich at the time to live for free. Nowadays, they don't do that anymore. So here the symbol just above the door, the falcon feeding her young. Right outside, we're going to pass our connection with Ghent by the water, 45 kilometers, also medieval city like Bruges, and almost as beautiful as Bruges. Almost. It's also the connection with the canal Ghent-Ostende, so that's where the water is coming from in the old center of Bruges.
It's a good trip.
In front of us, the cute little tower of the Baroque style church of St. Anna, well known for its interior there. So we have 9 churches in the old center of Bruges and a population of 20,000 people. Almost all the churches are possible to visit, also lots of art in there.
Looks like it's fine with it. He's enjoying it.
Confident dog.
Confident dog.
Left hand side, we're going to pass a white steeple house there. It's a white house with little steps on top. You're going to look closely on top of the white house. You're going to see a symbol you're probably all going to recognize. Here on the left side on top of the white house is the very first McDonald's from the 17th century. Don't you forget medieval McDonald's. Here at the bridge to the left, the bigger building as part of our College of Europe. There's only 1 year specialization in there. A minimum of 29,000 euros to get admitted. So here they form the future politicians and economists of Europe. So they come from all over the world to the College of Europe to become very decent and honest politicians here in the beginning. Lots of stories here, College of Europe.
The breeze.
Here on the right side, we're going to pass our steeple houses, typical for the lowlands. So the steeple houses, typical for the Flanders and Holland. For example, in Ghent and Amsterdam, you also find those houses, all built between 1600 and 1800. On top of the windows, little red bows you see there, and also little faces in there, and sometimes an animal head. It was to keep out the bad spirits out of the house in the medieval years. So if you
window is
walk
quite
through
something.
Bruges, you see that a lot. Right inside, perfect example from 1675. So that's also typical, the year it was built on the building. Sometimes they use the irons to make the numbers. So a little bit later on the tour, I'm going to show you an example. For the people, remember the actress Audrey Hepburn. She used to live here in Bruges for a couple of years, probably with her lover in the time. She lived here on the right, the White House, all these little details passing by. It's also a protected house, very nice house. Here on the right, the connection with the coast with the water only 10 kilometers. The connection was made possible by the French under Napoleon Bonaparte. First, the connection was to Armist troops. It's only afterwards that it became a commercial connection. So at the end of the war with the French, Bruges became a very well-known medieval harbor. In front of us, the building with the tower you see there is the Volksloge, was one of the first stock markets in Europe. So there they decided on the prices of the merchandise coming into the old port and also the distribution all over Europe. In front of the building with the tower we have a statue of Jan van Eyck, world famous Flemish primitive painter. Part of his work you can find in the Groningen Museum, which we're going to pass a little bit later on the tour. So left hand side the flag of Bruges again with the blue line in the middle, and right hand side is our Belgian flag with the three colors. Nice view here. To pass the bridge on the left, the white building is the British consulate of the 19th century. Nowadays it's a school in there, and the building is also for sale. If you're looking for a getaway house for the weekends in Bruges, for the ladies to start a bed and breakfast, now is your time, man. Unfortunately, the school has to leave the building because they cannot longer maintain it. So that's too bad, eh? Probably going to be luxury apartments again, because also in Bruges they have a hotel stop. No more extra hotels allowed in the old center of Bruges. Here in front of us there's a little street going on, is where you find Café Vlessingen, the oldest pub in town from 1515, and the interior there is still authentic. They only changed a little bit at the bar, but everything else in there is 1515. Very nice place, where you see the flag in the street here in front of us. So here we have another view on the house of the actress I was talking about. Maybe some people saw the movie The Nun Story. It's a classic with Audrey Hepburn. Left hand side we pass our steeple houses again, as you can see, completely been renovated. Also the city of Bruges gives an amount of money to the owners to help put the buildings back in their original state. So as you can see, the plan works, beautiful renovations all over the city. So the whole city of Bruges is under protection of UNESCO, World Heritage. On the corner, the blue and white label, that means the house is protected and has to stay original. Most of the time it's because somebody famous lived there, or the statues at the building. Here at the bridge to the left, two houses on the corner with windows that are not actually windows. It's because in the old days you had to pay taxes for every single window where the sunlight came in. Unbelievable, but true. It was a little gift from our friend Napoleon in the time. So here are two examples. Also Paris, London, Amsterdam, they use those taxes. So even then they were quite inventive to take the money out of your pocket. In England they call it daylight robbery. Firstly on the right you have another example, but then they made a little artwork out of one of those fake windows. Also on the right, colors red and green, typical colors for Bruges. In the dark ages they actually used real ox blood to paint the outside wall. So imagine the smell and the flies and those lovely days. Lovely dark ages, long time ago. Now they don't do that anymore. At least we hope so. We keep going on the right, a little bit further in the wall, there's a little bear standing there. It's the city symbol of Bruges. So the bear of Bruges stands for courage and bravery through history. Here on the right. So you see, size doesn't always matter. A cute little teddy bear of Bruges, right there.
Good.
On the right, we're going to pass a little tea house on the wharf from the 19th century, still in use nowadays. Just been renovated as part of a bed and breakfast now, so little tea house is actually a souvenir from the British with their 4 o'clock tea. In front of us, when we pass the 2 bridges, you're going to see appear the old Palace of Justice with the little red pigeon towers up top. So the pigeons were very important in the medieval years to transfer information. So the pigeons were actually the email from the medieval years. Nowadays, a beautiful building in front of us, it's our City Hall, dated back to 1608. City Hall, also very nice to visit. There's a huge Gothic room in there with some amazing paintwork. Very nice building there. So here we have a good view of those little red pigeon towers there. Left hand side, almost every day on the back side of the fish market, there's a little local art gallery going on there. Always nice to check it out. Well, today they're already cleaning up. Tomorrow at 9:30 they're going to be back there. Also, normally there's lots of painters there from Bruges. Some of them are really good. Always nice to check it out when you're looking for an original souvenir. Here on the right, just above the water, we're going to pass a gargoyle. That's also typical for the old center of Bruges. Here on the right, the gargoyle. Find it all over the city. Here, the year it was built of the city hall with the irons I was talking to you about it in the building here. So you're going to see that happen quite a lot. Front of us, the building with the woodwork is the oldest hotel in Bruges from the 17th century. It's called the Burgundy Cross Hotel. Used to be a big fire in there, but they're able to save it and renovate it back in its original state. Still amazing hotel, For the people who saw the movie in Bruges with Colin Farrell, it's here it jumped out of the window for one of the scenes. Several times after long nights of beer in Bruges. On the corner next to the hotel is the Spanish house. We used to have generals living there. Nowadays it's a paradise for the beer lovers. We have about 3,600 different kinds of Belgian beer, so you'll better get started. Very nice in there. Also very nice renovation. Used to be a ruin, the Spanish house. Completely renovated under UNESCO. In front of us, you're going to see appear the Holy Mary Church of Bruges, 122 meters in height and the second highest brick building in Europe. The highest one is in Germany. Church was completely renovated under protection of UNESCO, and while they were renovating the church, there was an armed robbery going on in there. Lots of art disappeared, never to be found again. So probably it ended up in a private collection somewhere in the world. Time will tell. Still to be found in the church is one of the masterpieces of Michelangelo, is the Madonna and Child in white marble. One of the few masterpieces of Michelangelo who ever passed the Alps when he was still alive. Very nice to visit the Holy Mary Church. Left hand side at the end of the trees on top of the bridge, you're going to find the entrance of the Palace of Bruges. The Bruges family was a very important and powerful family in the medieval years. Controlled everything about the import and the export of the merchandise in the city. Here, nice view coming for a picture of the Holy Mary Church. Think about the fact there's millions of bricks in there. Here at the gates of the palace, so nice view here. In a moment we're going to pass under the bridge, once we're under there, and you look on top of you, you're going to see there's actually 3 different bridges, one next to the other. First one with little stalactites is from the 15th century, and then moving on 16th and 17th century. 3 different styles of bridges here on top of you. Brabant's Little Boniface's Bridge of the 19th century, we also call it our Kissy Bridge. Millions of people have taken that picture here with their loved ones, and also people getting married on this bridge.
Already.
So for the lovers on the boat, you know what to do after the tour. No pressure. X marks the spot on the bridge. Don't you forget, kissy kissy, very important.
It's very nice. That's
Here on the right, the back building of the Holy Marriage Church, also a nice view here. And on the left side, there's a little house with the woodwork on the wall from the 17th century. Nowadays in there, it's a cozy bed and breakfast.
Moving my dog camera.
Authentic medieval furniture.
Moving my dog camera. Oop. This way. Couldn't see.
So now, once we pass the next bridge on the right side, you're going to find the old St. John's Hospital. Started up around the 12th century, and the last patient came out there in 1976. Nowadays in the old hospital, you find a museum for Hans Manning, also one of our Flemish primitive painters. Nowadays in there, lots of stuff going on in the old hospital. Very nice to visit there.
Yeah, I think I've been to that.
Forest Hospital.
Bought something from one of the shops.
What you see here is just a little part of the hospital. Est-ce que vous voyez
Oh,
ici?
it's big.
C'est seulement un tout petit peu. So it was actually a very big hospital, especially for the 12th century. Left-hand side is a few guns houses for the lonely elderly and the poorest among us. It's part of our social security system. So little guns houses you can only find in the old center of Bruges. Right outside the backside of the hospital, nice place to be. In the summertime, lots of events going on there. Also very good restaurants here. Backside of the hospital. On the left, a moment to be serious. We gotta pass the lowest bridge of Bruges, so please stay seated to take your pictures here, because it's here we lose about 10% of our clientele every year. Attenzione, la cabeza, Vorsicht, sitzen bleiben bitte, opgelet voor jullie ook. Attention, et la testa también.
Careful.
Yes? We are not a full boat, so the boat is high in the water. Be careful, everyone.
It's quite low.
Cabeza is Portuguese for him. There's a lot of languages.
Careful.
Not at all. Not at all.
Alright, the good news is, on the way back, I'm not going through the middle. So be prepared. Right here in front of us on the bridge to the right, you're going to find the monastery, the Beginage, from 1776. Nowadays, there's still Benedict sisters living there, and also in the monastery, you have a code of silence.
Isn't that when
Only
Columbus
3
said-
Benedict sisters left in the monastery, so that's why they allow lonely elderly ladies to live in the monastery as well. 800 years of existence this year. So here are the beautiful
It's that
gates
brewery.
with dates
The hop.
right outside.
Smells quite nice.
In front of us at the end is the Rock
I think
House
I
of
walked
Bruges,
there,
and
yeah.
the other side is the Lake of Love, and the water there is 1 meter higher than inside of Bruges. So if they open the gate there, we have quite a
It's really nice to walk around here.
It's already happened twice in this
I
trip.
know. Ralphing, thanks.
So here we're going to
that's
pass
all?
one of the feeding and breeding grounds of the majestic romantic swans of Bruges, beautiful creatures.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they can be
There.
quite aggressive.
Over there.
On the other hand, all the ducks you see everywhere in Bruges, that's for our little Chinese restaurant in town.
Oh.
Yummy, yummy, good for the tummy. Past the bridge on the right, the bigger building.
Loads
It's
of them.
our Half
Look.
Moon Brewery from the 18th century. Nowadays you
And
find the
geese.
beer museum in
Another
there, and
geese.
also a guided tour
Fly
of
all the way
45
here.
minutes with degustation. Nice brewery to visit. Notice the ropes against the wall of the brewery to help grow the experimental hops they plant every year. So once they are fully grown to the top at the end of November, you can smell those fresh hops very strongly. Makes you want to have a beer. The hops you are smelling today is because they're brewing it. You can smell it right now. So careful everyone, back at the lowest bridge. And now, just for the fun of it, on the right hand side of the boat, we're going to check how low we can go. Attenzione alla dreccia del barco, voor de rechtse zijde van ons boot, opgelet rechts van de boot. I hope everyone understood me.
Snippet, dog on the bridge.
Off we go.
Did I see?
Well done everyone. No 10% in this boat. Left-hand side of St. Saviour Cathedral, well known for its medieval tapestry there. There's some huge pieces hanging there from the 12th century, worth a fortune. Nice view on the towers here. In front of us at the bridge to the left, we're going to pass a little chapel on the water, and it's there they took out the dead people from the hospital on boats. Nowadays they don't do that anymore because we need the boats now. Oh, that's all rest. No, but seriously, in the medieval years, Bruges had a plague and they carried away the dead people by boats to avoid even more infections on the street. So that's what helped survive Bruges in the medieval years. They brought the boats outside of Bruges where they got burned in the time of the plague. Here on the left, a little chapel, and the white door is where they took out the dead men's boats. So think about the fact that thousands of dead men's boats came out there. Little story for Halloween, right there. So right inside the little workmen's houses from the old days, some of them are only 50 square meters. So little houses, but the prices are not so little in the city. Some locations very expensive. If you go 10 minutes outside the old center of Bruges, you can already get almost double the house for the same price. Taxes also very high, has to do with the maintenance and the renovations in the old center.
Good boy.
Slowly, we come back to our Kissy Bridge, and on the left-hand side of the bridge and the wall, you're going to find the smallest Gothic window of Bruges. There's a little window to spy on the boats coming in. So left-hand side, once we pass all the trees, you're going to see appear the cute little spy window. The window is part of our Palace of Grütze on the left, completely renovated now. It's a museum where you can see how the people lived in the medieval years. All with authentic materials. You can see it right now, the cute little window, and here also very nice view on the left. So the little window, the spy window, was for the time when the boats had to pay money to get through the old center.
See that
of Bruges,
really tiny window?
where they had to pay the money, the gate. Notice the gargoyles again, and in the middle of the roof, just around the corner, there's the watchtower of the palace with the flag of Bruges on top. So definitely worth a visit to the museum. Very nice in there.
Give me a little kiss.
Right outside, at the other side of the trees, you're going to find the the green gate, the Groeningen Museum, where you find the Flemish primitive pictures that was talking to you. And some of my great Belgian surrealists. People like painting, that's the place to be in Bruges. We keep going on the right. Once we pass all the trees, we're going to pass Hotel de Tuileries, and all the little windows there are handmade out of Venetian crystal. If you're going to look closely at the windows of the hotel, you're going to see a purple glow in there. That's because of the crystals. It used to be a private house a long time ago. Now it's an expensive hotel, and you definitely need a great window in there. Very expensive. You're going to see it very clearly.